doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, dear.
So yes, you could. If it wasn't you.
Okay. Step back. I was trying to get her a call, so. Okay. Thank you. Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
How are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. How's everything? Good.
Hi, you on there?
It was nice. That was yours. No, it was really nice.
My favorite holiday.
So you said, yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Had to get on the road.
Yeah.
I just want to have to watch these It's hard getting in the game. Can't find it. I bet you that's what's going on because there's nowhere else to park. Had I known, I would have let it in. Oh, there he is.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I just came from the Strasburg and I was just there screeching.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order, and I'll start by the pledge of allegiance, please. I'm going to start off by reading the school code. Number 18, 2019, to the members of the Board of Directors of the School District of the City of Scranton. In accordance with provisions of the school code, the members of the Board of Directors of the School District of the City of Scranton will meet in the boardroom of the Administration Building, 425 North Washington Avenue, Scranton, Pennsylvania, 18503, on Tuesday evening, December 3rd, 2019, at 7 o'clock p.m. prevailing time, for the purpose of reorganization, including the election of President and Vice President, and the adoption of the rules for the ensuing year. At this time, I'll take roll call. Mr. Borthwick?
Here.
Mr. Duffy?
Present.
Ms. Martin? Present. Mr. Lesh?
Here.
Mr. McAndrew?
Present.
Mr. Norton?
Yep.
Mr. Popel? Mr. Schuster?
Present.
Mrs. Dixon? Present. 8 present, 1 absent. Okay, I have some presentations to make. And the first one is Mr. Tom Borthwick, in recognition of outstanding leadership and dedicated service as board member of the Scranton School Board of Directors, 2008. Mr. Paul Duffy. Robert Lesh in recognition of outstanding leadership and dedicated service of 20 years as board member. Mr. Mark McAndrew in recognition of outstanding leadership and dedicated service of 6 years. Mr. Ken Norton in recognition of outstanding leadership and dedicated services to board member. Mr. Popel is out of town today. And Mrs. Barbara Dixon in recognition of outstanding leadership and dedicated service as president of the Scranton School Board of Directors. Okay. Now I'd like to ask if there's any remarks of outgoing officers and members. Mr. Borthwick?
First of all, I want to say that it was an absolute honor to be a public servant in the city of Scranton. As many people know, for many years, interested in how the board works and in making sure that the district serves its students, its teachers, and its taxpayers. It's been a tumultuous time in my short tenure on the board, and I want to say that the most important fight that a lot of us have participated in is the fair funding fight, and I would really truly hope that the new board keeps that fight going, because it's absolutely essential that that the district be treated fairly like every other district in the state of Pennsylvania. Our kids deserve to be treated equally, and they are currently not, and that lies at the fault of the state. And a lot of the economic troubles that we're seeing, a lot of the cuts, a lot of the closures, the contractual strife that we have are all financial in nature. And that needs to be laid at the feet of the state on a regular basis. The attention needs to be paid. So we spent a lot of time as a board drawing attention to that issue. I hope that continues, because Scranton kids certainly deserve the best. And thank you very much to everyone for the opportunity to serve.
I'd like to just reiterate a lot of what Tom said. I have to say thank you very much, and I'd be remiss if I didn't reiterate the comments that Mr. Borthwick said. A few years ago, I started this idea of fair funding, and I learned about it from the media, started going to other districts and talking to the people that were affected most by it, spoke with people from Erie and throughout the state of Pennsylvania, and that's the one thing that I think I'm most proud of. I think it's made the difference. It has helped us gain approximately $17 million. I think there's additional money on the way in the near future. I don't think it'll be enough to fix things, but I have all the confidence in the world that the new board coming and the current board members that are here, that they're going to continue to fight. I know they understand it. I have to also say, over the past 5 years, I've gotten to know some fantastic administrators. I have to look at down the road. Now, although many of you are new, I've gotten a chance to work with you. I think our new superintendent's going to do a fantastic job, and she's been working in this district for 20 years. I think Dr. Finan is a fantastic asset and brings a ton of knowledge to this. And if there's one person from the state that I'd like to be here, I think it would be her, just because I know she cares. I know that her heart is in this, and she can make a big difference in the fair funding fight, as well as a lot of other things that are going on. The business administrator, I think I've spoken with him the most over the past few years, and he's been a ton of help. He's a fantastic wealth of knowledge with regard to this district. Mr. Castrovinci and Ginny, thank you for all the texts reminding me of all the things that I constantly forget. You are the best, and all of you are the best. I'd like to thank the teachers for the job they do every day, the maintenance for the job they do every day, and I've always worked my best to do what's best for this district and for the children, and I hope that everyone continues to do the same. So thanks so much.
Director Popel is out of town, and he asked me to read this text to
all of the incoming new board members. Good luck on your new endeavors. I hope you're successful and guide the district to educational excellence and fiscal stability. And I would also like to say I'm honored to have served with all these people that are sitting here with me now and those that have rotated through. It certainly has been a challenge, and in the end I think we made a lot of difficult decisions to move our district forward, and I'm honored to work with our incoming new board members.
When I got here, I learned a lot. You really don't know what you don't know until it's presented. And end results is this is a great group of people. I do know a number of the new board members. They're going to be a great group of people. And at this moment in time, it looks like everything is in good hands. I'm not real thrilled with the state, but that remains to be seen. There's a good group of people that's going to do a good job. So, that's it.
I'd just like to first thank the citizens of the city of Scranton for giving me the opportunity to serve 5 terms here as a school director and keep me in that confidence, and deeply appreciate it. I've made an awful lot of friends here, and I've made a lot of new friends here. Just want to say, Missy, I wish you the best.
Thanks.
Dr. Finan also. John, good luck.
Thank you.
Patrick, you're a good man. Jimmy, good luck. Keep that camera going. It was a great opportunity to serve with my current board members. I must say Mr. Duffy put up a heck of a fight there with the state, and I think he will continue that fight. But it's up to the new directors now to really, get with these current directors and fight that fight, get that funding that we deserve. Because, it's easy to come to this boardroom or wherever they have their meeting at that particular date and beat up on your local, school board. That's fine. That's your right as a citizen. But don't forget where your funding comes from. I've often said our problem with public education in this country starts at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. That's in Washington, D.C. That's where it all starts. There's many, many things on the world event, on our country's event, okay? Healthcare and other not trivial, more and important issues. But I believe, as serving here as long as I did, this country needs to get education funding as part of that priority. Make it as important as healthcare. Because without education, this country's going to be lost. So we do need their support. So keep the fight up. Keep a good fight up. Don't give up.
The certificates of election for the newly elected board members: Sarah Cruz, Catherine Fox, Ro Hume, Tom Schuster, and Tara Yankee. And now we're going to begin the administration of the oath to the new board members. So Sarah Cruz.
So, oh my gosh, did I not bring, okay, it's big enough, I can read. I just realized, if I can read this, I can read it, thank you. All right, whenever. swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and I will discharge the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations. You're gonna sign right there.
Pam?
Yes. Magistrate.
Congratulations. Mark, Rose in the way, Judge. Take a deep breath. Repeat after me. I, Catherine Fox. Yes, please. Do solemnly swear. I will support, obey, and defend
I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America,
and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
And I will discharge my duties and responsibilities
I will discharge my duties and responsibilities
in my office with fidelity,
with fidelity.
so help me God. Congratulations.
And Ms. Rosalind Hume.
Okay. Thank you. No problem. I state your name, please.
Rosalind Hume.
Do solemnly swear or
Do
affirm
solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and I will discharge my duties of my office.
and I will discharge the duties of my office
So help me God.
with fidelity.
We have Mr. Thomas Schuster.
This is why. I state your name.
I, Tom Schuster,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support, obey, and defend
I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
I will discharge my duties and responsibilities
I will discharge my duties and responsibilities
in my office with fidelity.
to my office with fidelity, so help me God.
Congratulations.
And Mrs. Tara Union. Do I say that in my,
Tara.
okay. And is it Yanni?
Yanni.
Yanni?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's okay.
I just wanna make sure I have it right.
It's okay.
I'm gonna be saying that a lot.
Raise your right hand. I state your name, please.
I, Tara Yanni,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and I will discharge my duties
and I will discharge my duties
of my office with fidelity.
of my office with fidelity,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Oh, my pleasure. Congratulations.
We are done. Thank you very much.
No problem. Congratulations all.
Thank you.
elected board members. And they are Sarah Cruz, 2019 to 2023. Barbara Dixon, 2018 to 2022. Catherine Fox, 2019 to 2023. Catherine Gilmartin, 2018 to 2022. Rosalind Hume, 2019 to 2023. Mark McAnder, 2018 to 2022. Thomas Schuster, 2019 to 2023. And Tara Yanni, 2019 to 2023. Now I would like a motion for a temporary chair.
And I would like to motion to appoint Mr. McAndrew temporary chair.
I will second that.
Ms. Cruz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dixon?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Hume?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mr. Schuster?
Yes.
And Ms. Yanni?
Yes.
9 affirmative.
Okay, I would like a motion for president.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate for the office of president Katie Gilmartin.
I will second that.
Motion to close nominations?
Yes, I'll take a motion to close nominations, please.
I'll second that.
I'll make a motion to close.
Okay, for president, Mrs. Dixon?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Goodmartin?
Yes.
Ms. Hume?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mr. Schuster?
Yes.
Ms. Yanni?
Yes.
And Ms. Cruz?
Yes.
9 affirmative. I just want to point out, I'm so used to saying 9, but it's 8. I apologize, I just want that on the record.
Next, I would like a motion for vice president, please.
I would make a motion for Mr. Schuster as vice president.
I will second that.
All right, Vice President, Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Goodmartin?
Yes.
Ms. Hume?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mr. Schuster?
Yes.
Mrs. Yanni?
Yes.
Ms. Cruz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dixon?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
I will now ask for a motion to close nominations.
I'll make a motion to close nominations.
Second.
Mr. Ali, do you want to swear them in as their, do you need to swear them in as their office?
Yeah, do you have the,
I don't have it written. I thought I had it in this pile, but I will look it up.
I might have it.
I mean, it's actually the same thing that you read,
Right.
so if you want to just read.
All right, I have it here.
I apologize for that.
I brought my trusty book.
Around.
If you like.
Over here.
You just want to look at this nice woman.
I will.
Don't look at me. I'm not here.
Ms. Gilmartin, do you solemnly swear that you will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that you will discharge the duties of this office as president with fidelity?
I solemnly swear.
Well, congratulations. Mr. Schuster, do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that you will discharge the duties of this office of Vice President with fidelity.
So we swear.
Well, congratulations.
Mrs. Orr, may I have a roll call, please?
Ms. Cruz?
Here.
Mrs. Dixon?
Here.
Ms. Fox? Here. Ms. Hume?
Here.
Mr. McAndrew?
Present.
Ms. Yanni?
Present.
And Ms. Gilmore?
Present.
8 present.
I can't thank all of you enough for this opportunity. This is very exciting and totally overwhelming, much more so than I even anticipated. But I first want to thank Mrs. Dixon for her service as board president for the last 2 years. We have had a very good working relationship and a good friendship, and I know that will continue, and I know we'll be able to rely on you for your educational expertise as well, which we certainly need here. And I also want to acknowledge our outgoing members. I don't know if they're still in earshot, I hope so, but I certainly want to thank them for their service. But I also want to make clear that their service, not just doesn't end here in the boardroom, it extends out into our community. Mr. Lesh, his service to our country as a United States Marine, Mr. Popel, of his service to our state with his career with the Auditor General, Mr. Duffy, his service to our city as a police officer. Mr. Borthwick serves not only students here in our district, but in his classrooms, both in the Riverside School District and at Marywood University. And Mr. Norton serves our children in our neighborhood as a lifelong volunteer with so many neighborhood and youth athletic leagues. It really is remarkable that these men give of their time and their talents, not only in this boardroom, but out in this community. And I am delighted to sit here with all of these new female faces. It's very exciting. I know you will all work hard. I know you all work with the best of intentions. Now just wait a minute. But we cannot forget the very wonderful men who work alongside us. Thank you. It is so important that we have both perspectives at the table and that we are able to communicate and collaborate. And I have had some wonderful experiences in the last 2 years, and some great gifts have come of it. But chief among them are the two friends who sit to my left. I could not, and quite frankly would not, take on this responsibility without Mr. Schuster's, what's your name again? Without Mr. Schuster's partnership. He is a wonderful friend and a tremendous support, and I will never be able to tell you what that has meant to me, especially over this last year. And Mr. McAndrew, I don't know that we'll get the chance to really go over your record before you fly up to council, but your service here on the school board has been tremendous, and you are an advocate for our students, not only here on this board, but as Director McAndrew, but also at the Career Technology Center as Chef Mark. So I know students are always first and foremost in your mind, but you are a champion of transparency and a critic of impropriety. And it needs to be noted that in the wake of the Auditor General's audit, the Auditor General's performance report, it was you on November 14th who asked for the list of district vendors so that the bidding timeline could be established. And I think it's very important to know that you and Mr. Schuster and many of our colleagues have been fighting for transparency and process for many, many years, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And I also appreciate that you are here with us tonight, because I think you could probably resign your seat and go and enjoy Christmas with your family. And you are fulfilling your responsibilities here on the school board till the very last moment, and that means a great deal to me. tremendous amount of work to do. And I am delighted to get the chance to work with Dr. Finan in support of her recovery plan and make sure that we are all brought up to speed on that we understand the finer points, and that the community as well knows how that progress is going. I am so thrilled to be working with Mrs. McTiernan. Her leadership is remarkable. It really is. The work that we have seen in the last several months in this district, the spirit, the energy, the enthusiasm is beyond measure. So I know, along with your administrative team, we will accomplish a great deal, as well as working alongside the SFT and the SEIU BJ 32. It is so important that we are all on the same team. Team Scranton, right? So I am delighted for this opportunity. I look forward to the challenges that lie ahead. I look forward to the milestones that we will celebrate and all that we will achieve. And I thank you so much for your support of me in this role and your support of the work that we will do together. So thank you.
So before we move forward, this is something that Jenny might not be particularly happy with me about. But I brought in writing tonight my resignation for the 2-year seat, and according with our board operating guidelines 004 BOG-1 in regards to filling of a vacancy, I would ask that this current board of directors amend the agenda tonight to consider the resignation for my 2-year term starting December 3rd. So I would ask for a motion to amend the agenda to add.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Mrs. Dixon?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Hume?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mr. Schuster?
Yes.
Ms. Yanni?
Yes.
Ms. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Gilmartin?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
And now we need the motion to accept the resignation, correct? Yes, that was the motion. So here we have a motion to accept
I will
the
make that
resignation.
motion.
I will
Accept
second.
your resignation.
All right. Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Hume?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mr. Schuster?
Yes.
Ms. Yanni?
Yes.
Ms. Cruz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dixon?
Yes.
Ms. Gilmartin?
Yes.
8 affirmative. Okay.
Now we need a motion to adopt the book of rules.
I will make a motion to adopt the rules.
I'll second it.
Ms. Hume?
Yes.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mr. Schuster?
Yes.
Ms. Yanni?
Yes.
Ms. Cruz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dixon?
Yes.
Ms. Fox?
Yes.
Ms. Gilmartin?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
And may we have a reading of and a motion to adopt the principles of governance and leadership. Ms. Cruz, would you read that for us?
Yes. It is the recommendation of the superintendent and the policy committee that the following principles for government and leadership be promulgated. Whereas the Scranton School District agrees to advocate honestly to promote public education as a keystone of democracy, to engage in the community by seeking input, building support networks, and generating action. Further, to champion public education by engaging members of local, state, and federal legislative bodies. And whereas the Scranton School District wishes to lead responsibly by preparing for, attending, and actively participating in board meetings. Further, working together in a spirit of harmony, respecting cooperation, and to participate in professional development, training, board retreats, and collaborating with the superintendent as the team of 10. And whereas the Scranton School District agrees to govern effectively by adhering to an established set of rules and procedures for board operations to develop, adopt, revise, and review policy and align decisions to policy. Further, to differentiate between governance and management, delegating management tasks to administration, allocating finances and resources, and ensuring compliance with local, state, and federal laws. And whereas the school board agrees to plan thoughtfully, adopt and implement a collaborative, comprehensive planning process, including regular reviews and annual goals that align with the comprehensive plan. Further, to develop a financial plan that anticipates both short and long-term needs, and to formulate a master facility plan conducive to teaching and learning. And whereas the Scranton School Board wishes to evaluate, consult, and utilize appropriate data to make informed decisions, use effective practices for the evaluation of the superintendent, assess student growth and achievement, and review effectiveness of the comprehensive plan. And whereas the Scranton School Board wishes to communicate clearly, promote open, honest, and respectful dialogue among the board, staff, and community, encourage input and support for the school district from the community, protect confidentiality, and honor the sanctity of executive session. And whereas the school board wishes to act ethically, never use the position to improperly benefit themselves or others, act to avoid actual or perceived conflicts of interest, recognize the absence of authority outside of the collective board, respect the role, authority, and input of the superintendent, balance the responsibility to provide educational programs with being steward of community resources, and abide by the majority decision. Respectfully submitted.
Second?
Second.
Mr. McAndrew?
Yes.
Mr. Schuster?
Yes.
Ms. Yanni?
Yes.
Ms. Cruz?
Yes.
Mrs. Dixon?
Yes.
Ms. Fox? Ms. Hume?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
8 affirmative.
Now, as I've always been quite honest about, since I can take the fun out of anything, can we do a bit of scheduling in terms of the appointment that will be advertised, needs to be advertised for 10 days on district social media and advertised no more than 3 times, correct? So where does that put us?
This is what I was talking about earlier, Jim.
So, since we accepted the resignation this evening, we have 30 days to
That's,
appoint.
that's correct.
So, we'll need to check a calendar and
But we can do it in as soon as
tomorrow.
You could do it as
10,
yes. You could
10
do
days
it
per our policy.
per your policy. Yes. Per the statute, you can do it now.
We're definitely not going to do it.
Just saying.
No, it's advertised 10, appoint within 30.
It's 30 days.
So, 10 days would bring us to the 13th,
Right.
correct?
Yes, yes. Currently, we have a meeting on the budget and finance on the 12th,
Okay.
an advisory meeting on the 12th, and a regular voting meeting on the 12th. And then we have the other meeting that's scheduled at this point is the budget meeting on the 23rd.
Okay.
Is this something that we could take applications until the 13th and then put all of that together for a meeting on the 16th?
Sure.
Or do we think that's
Yes.
too much?
You can. You can do whatever you want.
And that's okay if we moved you're suggesting to move the budget and finance meeting to that
Oh, okay.
date?
Yeah, move everything to the 16th.
Does that work with the budget timeline?
Oh, that's
Yes, we can,
Yeah.
yeah, we just have to do it before a
Final-
certain date, but we can.
We can't act on the final budget at least until December 20th.
Right.
So that's, we scheduled that for the 23rd. But we
Okay.
can certainly
So
move your voting.
Even if we moved it from the 12th to the 16th, that doesn't affect that.
No. The 12th Budget and Finance Committee meeting is to update the board.
Yes.
The voting meeting is to vote on the agenda items for you guys from the work session. And then the 23rd, that's the first, right, the first day we would be able to vote on the budget is the 20th, but we moved it to the 23rd.
So we could move everything to the 16th, so do that all on the 16th.
Correct. Correct.
And then come back the following month?
And then come back the following Monday for the budget, if that works for the board.
That's gonna work for it.
Yeah, I think we'll,
Yes.
yeah.
And would everyone prefer to do that adding
I mean,
one
the
night,
problem
adding
would
it,
be I
another
won't be
two.
available that night.
Yeah.
Okay. We have one.
16th is a Monday,
problem.
right?
Yes.
We have one problem with the 16th, Mr. Audi will not be here.
I could send someone from my firm, but I cannot be available that evening. I am the 12th, they have the 12th and 23rd scheduled, but I unfortunately have the 16th booked.
And but you wouldn't be available, even if we did those two separately, you wouldn't be available for the appointment anyway.
Correct, on the 16th I'm not available. Yeah, I'll send
Send
someone.
somebody from the firm.
I'll send someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No disrespect, we don't need you for the appointment. Send one of your.
So, there is an advisory committee meeting then,
On the
that
12th.
remains on the 12th.
Yes.
At what time?
Right now it's scheduled for 4 o'clock.
Yeah, we were trying to
We were trying to
piggyback
put
on-
everything on one, so do you wanna move that to the 16th?
We could.
We can move,
We
we
can
can
move-
move everything to the 16th.
We can move everything to the
So-
16th.
Advisory at 4 p.m., budget and finance 5:30, is that
Correct.
correct?
And then.
Then the voting meeting and then
Right
the
after,
appointments,
and then the
interviews
appointment,
after.
yes. So we're moving on to the 16th, does that work for you? Not for you.
It doesn't work
but-
for me.
It works for my firm.
Very
Here.
good. All right,
Yeah.
wonderful. And then the final budget
23rd.
remains on the
23rd, yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna accept applications until
Until the 13th at noon.
13th at noon.
Tell your friends and loved ones. All right. Thank you. So before we adjourn, I just have two quick things. We would like to do a photo, if we may. I don't know, I saw Jake, I don't know where he is, I don't know. Are we going to the caucus room or to the second floor? Do you know that,
Where-
for the photo?
Nobody told me anything, but we can go wherever you would like.
You know? Capola, there you are. I know.
Second floor.
Okay, so, if we can go, current board, any remaining members who may be here, if we can just go to the second floor. Conference room, we'll do a quick photo, and I hope everyone will join us at Sterna's for a little celebration this evening. So please, come one, come all, and enjoy.